Hello, my name is EJ Uday. I'm the creator of soulpoweredcoaching.com and Find Your Business Flow. In this video, I'm going to share with you how you can use human design to overcome your procrastination once and for all. Now, as an entrepreneur, that's really good news. Procrastination is the number one challenge that most creative entrepreneurs say gets in the way of their business success. And I have a slightly different take on what procrastination is. A lot of times when people talk about procrastination, they focus a lot on time management, looking at how you schedule your time, looking at where you're most productive, the time of day where you're most productive, figuring out whether you should chunk things out, exactly what days you should do what, how you prioritize your to-do list. And all that stuff is important, but I feel like it's not the most important aspect when you're looking at really overcoming procrastination, getting to the root of why you're procrastinating, and then coming up with strategies that actually match that. I feel like it's less important to focus on time management, actually more important to focus on energy management. And as an entrepreneur, your energy is your most valuable resource. If you're about to approach a project and you're tired or you're exhausted or your energy is scattered, then you're not going to do your best work. You're going to have a hard time focusing, you're going to have a hard time being creative, you're going to have a hard time really prioritizing and being clear in the moment, like why you're doing what you're doing, what needs to be done first, and then what do you need to let go of. Like really make those decisions in the moment that are going to move your project forward and have your business gain momentum. So what I love about human design is that it maps out our energetic blueprint, like how we're each uniquely designed to flow energy through our system, how we're uniquely designed to replenish our energy when we get tired, when our energy gets low, how we're designed to focus our energy on what it is, take our ideas and bring them into the real world, and how we're designed to like sustain our energy so that we're able to direct our energy over like long periods of time to like really move through that process of taking an idea, bringing it into the real world, and moving through the challenges and obstacles that get in the way of that. Now, human design maps this out based on your birth information. And on the screen is a sample human design chart. So what human design does based on your birth information is map out your relationship to the 9 different energy centers. And each of the energy centers are correlated with a different type of energy. So once you know exactly what your relationship is to different energy centers and how those energy centers are connected to one another, you can really get information about how you're designed to be productive, how you're designed to make decisions that are good for you, what your life purpose is, what challenges are going to get in the way of that, how you move through that, where your strengths are, where your challenges are, and all of that information. There's so much information you can get from your chart. So one of the things that I like to do when I'm working with clients is have them start out with filling a thorough online questionnaire. And I do this to really help them hone in on what exactly it is, what would be the most helpful for them to walk away with from the session, and then to really help me channel the reading so it's the most focused. I'm giving you information that's really going to move you forward, and it's not going to overwhelm you. So one of the first places that I look at when I look at a chart is to figure out someone's aura type. Your aura type basically maps out how you're designed to co-create with the universe and how you're designed to tap into your full potential. So there are 4 different aura types that people could have. And once you know someone's aura type, I'm able to give them I'm able to point to like what their strengths are, be able to hone in on what their weaknesses or challenges may be, and then ways that they can actually move through those vulnerabilities when they do come up, and come up with strategies that actually match their aura type. So for instance, someone who may have a manifestor aura type, what I'll know about them immediately is that they're a go-getter, they love to take action, they're really independent, and yeah, they really like to just take projects and just kind of fly with it and work in like intense bursts of energy and just like focus on a project. And then they need like amounts of rest. Like their energy is not energy that can be sustained over time. It's energy that comes like, you know, in a huge rush, a huge burst. And then once the energy is done, then they actually need to take a break and rest. So the way that I would help a manifestor think through their project planning would be very different than the way I would help a generator think through their project planning. Generators, on the other hand, are more like the Energizer bunnies. Like they have an inborn generator that keeps them going and going and going. And so for the generator, like that's a strength. I know that they're kind of like the builders. And once they start working on something, they can keep on going and like really put the work in sustained over time to see their project through. But where generators get challenges, sometimes they say yes to everything. And so they've got like 2, 3, 4 projects going on at the same time. And they're working on projects that aren't really most important to them, that aren't really most aligned to their values, most aligned with their values, and most aligned with their intentions. So the way I work with the generator would be really about really making sure and helping them get clear that the projects they're working on are really the projects that are most important to them. Now, the next area that I look at when I look at someone's chart is look at their inner authority. And your inner authority is basically how you're designed to tap into your intuition and make decisions that are good and right for you. And this is really important because most of us were raised to look outside of ourselves to figure out whether what we're doing is right, to look outside of ourselves for approval, to look at our outside circumstances and use them as cues about whether we should stop or keep going. And as an adult, like that doesn't work anymore. As an adult, you are stepping into onto your own unique path, and you've got something unique to bring to this world that no one else has brought. And so no one else can give you a blueprint or a map or exactly how you're supposed to make decisions and move through the world and build your business. And so it's really important that you own your inner authority, that you understand what's the unique way that you tap into your own inner wisdom. So for instance, if I have someone who shows up and they have a splenic inner authority, to me, that means that they tap into their spleen center, which is all about body awareness. It's about your gut feelings, where your fear lives. And the way the spleen talks to you is that it talks to you once and it doesn't repeat itself. So it's that first instinct that you get when you are about to make a decision, when you've got a question, and you're trying to decide what you need to do. So when someone with a spleen authority comes to me and they're trying to figure out, like, okay, what should I do next in my project? Am I having a hard time really prioritizing, during the day about what I need to focus on, what I need to stop doing, what I need to start doing. And I really help them build practices that bring them back into their body. And because the more in tune they are with their body, the more likely they are to hear that first gut instinct, that first piece of that, the first wisdom that their body is giving them in the moment about what they need to do. So I tell them to do some yoga, do some dancing, do some stretching, take a walk around the block when they're really trying to hone in and get focused about what exactly they need to focus their energy on and what they need to be doing and how they need to be prioritizing their time. Now, the next area I look at is the individual energy centers. And I look first at the centers that are colored in. These are your defined centers. These are the centers where you have constant access to that energy in the center and where you can instantly learn how to tap into that energy center on will. And these are usually where your gifts are. These are usually where your strengths lay. And these are usually the places that you can lean in for support when you're feeling lost or stuck. I also like to look at these undefined centers, which are these white centers that I'm pointing to. And your undefined centers are the centers where you are open to the energy from the world around you. So these are the centers where the world around you is able to influence you and really affect how you experience that energy that's flowing through. And so because you don't have control over the energy that comes into your undefined centers, those are the places where you tend to clamp up and contract, like we all do it. And it's because we don't like feeling like we're out of control. And what happens when you contract is you actually end up blocking that energy, and that blocked energy shows up in our lives as challenges or struggles. And to me, that's what procrastination is. Procrastination is pointing to those places in your chart where you're blocking up, where you're blocking energy, and where you need to learn to surrender and kind of relax a little bit so the energy can flow through. And then you can actually begin to receive some of the gift of what that energy is here to give you. So, for instance, if I would look at someone like in this chart, one of their undefined centers is their sacral center. So for me, that tells me this is someone who does not have constant access to that life generator energy. So this is someone who sometimes forgets to take care of themselves, sometimes forgets to take breaks, sometimes forgets to eat. And when you have an undefined sacral center, it's really important that you don't work for more than like 90 minutes at a time. That you really like schedule in and get like into creating a rhythm in your day that's okay, I'm going to work, then I'm going to rest. I'm going to work, then I'm going to rest. And so when I'm working with someone with an undefined sacral center, I really try to help them think through their days and figure out how they can get into that rhythm of working and resting and working and resting and making sure that they have regular intervals during the day to implement some self-care. So those are just that's just a quick overview of some of the ways I look at someone's chart and use that to help them come up with a personalized blueprint. But if you want to learn some more and you want to get your own personalized blueprint with your own resources and tips and learn about your own strengths and how you're wired to tap into your intuition and make decisions that are good and right for you, how you're designed to prioritize your day and figure out when to stop working on a project and when to keep going through the hard times, then you can come check me out here. I'm at www.tinyurl.com/businessflow. That's www.tinyurl.com/businessflow.